How you darn? How you darn?
How you doing? How you doing?
How the hell are you darn?
I got the wrong camera, bro.
Well, I don't know.
Am
I
I
can't
fault?
fix that on my side.
Oh, why did you tell me? Hold on.
well, I don't know.
There
It's
it
like
is.
when you were drafting and you didn't realize, and it was my fault because I didn't tell you.
Once
Like,
again,
what
it's
the hell,
always
man?
your fault. No, it's
Yeah,
your
man.
fault. Agree with it. Believe it in your heart. It's your fault.
You know what? It is my fault. That's on me.
What's happening, people?
What's popping, guys? Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We just had a redraft mock draft, and today, Junior,
Spit it out.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm. The chat was popping. That was the best redraft mock we've had this year. So excited that you guys were able to join us over there on the redraft channel. And now we just want to do the same thing again here on the Dynasty channel. So shout out to you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. As always, if you have yet to drop a like, would mean so much to us if you could do so.
You like that?
Do you like that? If you like that, you can drop a like for us. Every like does help us grow the channel.
Thanks,
But
6 more
Badaki,
subscribers.
so yeah, 6 more subscribers away from
23.
2,300. Our
Awesome.
Jordan number.
All right, Jordan.
But
look
who's in the
after
chat
everyone.
with us?
We got Cole, Tommy, Dak, Caleb. Cole, Tom, Dak, Caleb, G Money, Stephen Day, Shay from the Redraft channel. Shout out to you, Jason K, G Money, Jeremy, Joseph, Jonah, Alan. What's happening, everyone? We can see you guys in the chat. It's always all love. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah.
As always, we do the little spiel. If you want to join and be part of a mock draft in a dynasty on our Dynasty channel, please join our Discord. The link is in the description below. It is first come, first serve for our mock drafts. And if you do want an upper hand on other people, I suggest that you open up maybe your laptop, a tablet. I think the response time is a lot faster than on a phone.
But also, just please be aware that there are over I think almost 750 of you guys in the Discord. There's only 10 spots. Okay. So please don't get upset at us if you're not able to make it in.
Go to the Dynasty mock draft text channel. That's where I'll be posting a link to the mock drafts. What is happening, y'all? Sean, Daniel Lawrence, it's all love. The community's popping. It's a new week. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I hope you have an even better Monday, because it is Monday there. Mondays sometimes are hard, but sometimes they can be great. End the day with a
Sounds
good
like something else I know. Shout out to everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Again, the link is going to get dropped. We are now 4 subscribers away. Hey, okay. All right, Sebastian.
yeah, my guy.
The get. Thanks so much for the sub, brother. Appreciate y'all.
All
All right, we'll review this screen later, see if we maybe hit the 2300 on this stream. If not, that's all goods. But again, Badaki's actually gonna be the one to send out the link today.
Yeah, I'll do this now right here. Dynasty.
He's
mock
gonna send
draft.
out the link here. Again, if you don't join, there will be more opportunities.
Ready? I'm giving you guys time because there is a bit delayed. The link is not in the description. It's on the little thing. I just have to press enter. Get there. Listen to my voice.
The link is, again, Dynasty Mock Drafts text channel, guys. Dynasty Mock Drafts text channel.
Yep.
We're about to drop it here. It's gonna happen quick.
All right. Here we go. I gave you guys some time to get there. 3, 2, 1. There it is. Best
And while
of luck.
that's filling up, Tom says, hey, boys, before the draft, should I take a 23 first, 23 second, and 24 first with Waddle for Chase? Okay, meaning you get Waddle and all those picks.
Should I take a 2? Should I take 23 first and a 24 first with Waddle for Chase?
That's close. I think I'm going Waddle, but it's really close. It's really close.
So this is all for Chase. 23
Yeah.
first, 23 second, 24 first, and Waddle for Chase. Yeah, I'm going the Waddle side.
I think you're better team construction, but the context is really important here. Like for example, the person who is going to buy Chase, if they have like an unlimited amount of draft picks and they're able to cash in on a star, I get it. So I like both sides. I understand both sides. All right, we are doing a SuperFlex Dynasty startup mock draft. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flexes, and a super flex. And we're going to have 30 seconds on the clock from the get-go, y'all. A lot of rounds to get through. We're going to get through a lot of questions as well. 30 seconds. Don't get autoed. Here we go. From the top. Make it pop. That's some what? Okay. Back to the chat.
Back to the chat. A lot of people, a lot of questions.
Jason's question here. Let's start there. He said, Kyler or Lamar in Dynasty. I think we disagree here. I'm going Kyler. I think you're going Lamar, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
I mean, after the whole video game scandal and him having to study a
God.
minimum of 4 hours a week because he had a contract.
There's no way that can be your deciding factor.
I'm joking. But I am going Lamar. I do have Lamar higher than Kyler. I do respect Lamar, but they're actually back to back. Back to back are really close. Let me just double check that.
Sure.
They are back to back in my rankings. I have Lamar Jackson over Kyler Murray. I guess it just comes down to preference. Jamar
Did
Chase
you get in?
there.
Did you get in, Shay? If not, don't worry. We got more mock drafts coming all week, guys.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying Kyler.
How you doing?
How you doing,
Pittman,
Joseph? How you doing?
Pittman in Hollywood for 23 first, likely late, and a 24 second. Who wins? I'll take Pittman in Hollywood. I'm okay with Pittman in Hollywood. Get the proven work now.
I kind of agree there.
Yeah.
But I guess again
sorry, Mooney, not Pittman. So Mooney in Hollywood for 23.
No, that's
first.
different. Give me the picks.
Yeah, I'll take the picks as well.
Okay.
Hello, ladies. What's happening? I'm on the clock.
And while you're on the clock, Steven said Zach over here is still in the India League. Hey, I thought that trade was more fair than other people thought, but I think Josh Jacobs is a piece that people seem to have a real big difference of opinion on. But hey, this is why you don't get drunk and do trades. Someone in one of our leagues said that they were drunk when they sent me a trade. Blaze 101. What's up, Sean? It's so good to have you back.
Man,
Chris says the redraft before Dynasty was good. Always good to switch things up.
Yeah.
Did you guys like that? Did you like the redraft before the Dynasty mock draft? Let us know.
I guess we were just giving more people opportunity to do redraft since it's kind of redraft season. It's happening a little bit earlier for people. So should I get in 1 out of 75 times? I have no idea what that means. I'm on the clock here again.
We'll see you guys in October. Sydney, here we come. Yes, sir, Sean. That's awesome.
Oh, really?
From New Zealand, bro.
You're from New Zealand, bro? That's awesome.
All right, so just to recap what's happened in this draft, because I am surprised Jonathan Taylor went that late. Chase goes at 5. Then we see Murray and Jackson. Jefferson, Pitts, is it early? I personally don't think it's too early. Some people would say so, but I would still go JT over Pitts, I think. It's close. But JT falls to you at 11. Then we see Najee, Russell Wilson, Trey Lance, CeeDee Lamb. If you're watching this later or you're watching it live, Trey Lance goes a lot higher in our community because I truly believe he is going to be considered a top 7 quarterback in Dynasty next year. Mm-hmm. And I have continually talked about him on our channel and videos and live streams. And there's a lot of people in our community who also feel that same way. So you're going to see Lance go a lot higher. Some other quarterbacks, I think our community generally values quarterbacks a little bit higher. Quarterbacks and wide receivers specifically than other communities that value running backs higher than us. I think if we look at the positions, quarterback is the most important for us, then wide receiver, and I would say debatably maybe if you can get an elite tight end, we would do that for a running back, but it depends on the tight end. So running backs and tight ends are kind of like running backs are obviously more valuable than tight ends, but maybe you get where I'm coming from. Anyway, the reason I say this is because I know a lot of other communities really value running backs over us, but it's just not the way we like to build our dynasty teams. Mm-hmm. And I'm on the clock here.
This I'll
take Stafford.
I see what you're saying, Steven. Right? I guess I didn't understand the correlation. Gator fan hadn't had good luck with desktop and mock drafts lately. I kick in Desert Register. Oh, man, sorry about that. I guess try whichever one works for you. Whichever one's faster. If you want to do it on your phone, do it on your phone. Do it on your iPad. I think I've always had I thought it was always better for people. People always said it was better. The community, like you guys, the community, so not you. Anyways, random people in the community said, doing it on the computer is a lot better, or faster at least. What's
By the
happening,
way,
John?
ATJ also said, all I'm saying is I better not get the 12 spot in redraft league. That'll make it 4 in a row. You
Oh,
and me
man.
have some pretty bad luck there. But yeah, what is up, John? Kenneth had a question there. If you want to.
Yeah. Traded Tannehill, Hunt, and a 23 third and a 24 second for 23 first and Gaskin. I'm happy with the 23 first, but Gaskin is just so one random. Two, I don't want anything to do with him.
I think. So the thing is, the 23 first is by far the most valuable piece in this deal. By far, it's the most valuable.
Yeah.
But I actually feel like you should have gotten more capital or given up less capital in this deal.
Yes, exactly. Like,
it's not that I dislike. Okay, by the way, Cooper Kupp shouldn't be here. So I'd never take Cooper Kupp, but I'm gonna have to do that.
You got the stack. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe people are still thinking of redraft.
Well, if they were, then Kupp would be way higher.
Yeah, true. Oh, we didn't do third round reversal, but I guess we haven't been doing that.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
But it's okay. Oddly enough, take the 2024 second out. I think that's even.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, that feels better to me.
I think that's the biggest turning point for me. That 24 second, I think, is extremely valuable. I mean, so is the third, but not as valuable as the second. So
whoever Jerry 26 is, by the way, what kind of dog have you got? I want to know. I'm a big dog person. As we see, AJ Brown, Diggs off the board. So we saw Javonte, Swift, CMC, Watson at the 2-8, which, again, if it is a 6-game suspension, he's probably going to go higher than this. Stafford, Brees, Fields. Fields is probably another quarterback that you're going to see going higher in our community than others. Higgins, Andrews, Waddle, Lawrence, Kupp, AJ Brown, Diggs, and Debo in that order. Nothing seems too outrageous or crazy to me at this point.
It's the only thing that seems outrageous is that Cooper Kupp fell, but I guess people are
sure,
taking more
fair.
quarterbacks. Shit.
Jerry says dog is a village dog rescued from the Caribbean islands of Grenada. I mean, that is one hell of a story. That's incredible.
Honestly.
Cole's asking Steven what the trade was. Okay, so I'll pull the trade up. I'm happy to pull it up. I think if you're not a Josh Jacobs believer, then you're not going to like this deal. But also, I don't like selling
Did you make a trade?
Jalen Waddle. This is the India deal that he was talking about. Let me try and find it. So again, Jared, he sent me the deal. So essentially, I got Michael Pittman and Javonte in a third. We just swapped third and fourth. So I got Michael Pittman, Javonte. He got Josh Jacobs and Jalen Waddle. So again, Jalen Waddle is my wide receiver 5 in Dynasty. And I feel like the difference between Waddle and Pittman is similar between the difference between Javonte and Josh Jacobs. But I know a lot of people are super anti-Josh Jacobs right now. So, but literally as soon as the trade went through, he put in the group chat, "I'm drunk." So.
I'm drunk. Please help me.
That's why I said this last year when we did the best advice for fantasy football this year. The first thing I said was don't trade when you're drunk. If you're drunk, delete whatever fantasy apps that you have. Yeah. It's not a good recipe.
It's all good. It's all good. It happens. Where we're at. Deontay Johnson and Dotson or Waddle in a late second. Which side? I think that's pretty even in my opinion.
I would go Waddle in the late second. I'm not a Deontay guy.
I would go Waddle because I just don't love Dotson's landing spot. I love the talent, don't love the landing spot. Steven, all right, you were talking about the 10 spots, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Stack and CD stack.
Yes, sir, at the 110.
Mm-hmm. Tom, so this was a final trade, received Waddle, J-Mo. So yeah, Tom received Waddle, J-Mo, a 23 first, a 23 second, and a 24 first for Chase, and a 24 second.
Wow, you got Jameson Williams in that too?
That's crazy. That's absolutely
God, I love Jameson Williams. So I don't know how to not. I mean, that's a W, bro. That's a dub. That's a huge dub. I hate the 4-9 because this is like the DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson area. Ugh, gross. But you know what? Give me Michael Pittman. Pity City, baby.
Nice.
Let's ride with it.
One quarterback league, Pittman, Javonte, right? What's happening, CB? How you doing, man? John
What's up, brother?
Cena, thinking of trading my 23 first and a 20 and a second for Hall. Thoughts? I think just a 23 first could be enough for Hall.
Yeah, I don't think you should have to
second.
send a second there as well.
Uh-huh.
We talked about this earlier. Like, if you put Brees Hall in the 2023 class, I think he's probably where we saw Ken Walker, a little bit volatility there in this year's rookie drafts, anywhere from the 102 to the 104, 105. So I would say just a 23 first at this point. As much as I believe in Brees Hall and what I think he will become, I don't think you should have to send that much. And if you do, then I think just it's not the right time to trade for them. Yeah. Russell Wilson.
What's happening, man? How you doing?
What are you eating for your lunch break, MP?
Let me guess.
KFC. I don't care.
I don't, honestly. Is
I
either
love
that
it.
or you probably went to like the servo, got one of them like $4 ham sandwiches. I wonder. I feel like that's pretty.
Who's selling ham sandwiches like for $4?
You know
That does not sound reliable.
Remember how Sam used to get those little boxes? Do you know which ones I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Okay, never mind.
I'm gonna grab Jerry Judy here.
I'm telling you, look, anyways, every time we went on Stack, Sam always like, I'm hungry. He just went to like.
Oh, you mean from like the gas station?
Yeah, like Willie's Metros, and he just went to get
God.
those like quick ham sandwiches.
You do not eat sandwiches from a gas station unless
Sam.
it's like a quick trip or like a really good gas station in America. But gas stations here, you don't do that.
Where we're at.
Prob says drunk trading screws you every time. It's very true. You can be good at drunk drafting. Well, with auto pick, maybe. Jason says I've traded so many times under the influence. Shu, what's up, man? I don't think we've had you on the stream too much before. I don't know if it's your first time or
Maybe
if
change
you've
your
been
name or something.
around or change the name. Welcome. In-person startup and with my boys coming up next week. Do I build a foundation of CD, Pitts, and Higgins or Javonte, Pitts, and Higgins? I think it's a one quarterback league, 3 wide receiver league. If it's a 3 wide receiver league and you have 2 running backs, I probably would do CD, Pitts, and Higgins.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do. And then you can get some of these, however you want to build your team later. Maybe you can get a Jerry Judy in the 5th. You can get Rashad Bateman in the 5th, Devonta Smith in the 5th. If you can guarantee some of those guys, and then maybe get another running back.
I feel like you can get it depends on your league, but I think you get really good running back values after you set that as your foundation. And like,
Right.
yeah, I think in one quarterback, it makes that answer easier. Isaiah says, traded Zeke, MT, and Thielen and got DK, Clyde, and a 23 third in Dynasty. Zeke, MT, Thielen, all guys I really don't have any interest building around in Dynasty. You got DK, who I love. Clyde, verdict is still out. So, yeah, I think that's a W.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Breathalyzer. You're not wrong, Alan.
Imagine.
You're not wrong.
Chris, Godwin, Gage, Kirk for 23 first. I'm on the clock. Sorry. As I was reading it, I should have realized.
That's okay. Godwin, Gage, Kirk for 23 first, 23 second, and Gallup. Godwin, Gage, Kirk. That's pretty even, to be honest. Oh, that is pretty even. I am someone who does like Kirk more than the average Dynasty. I don't even know if I call myself an analyst. Sure. So that truly feels like split down the middle, in my opinion. I don't know if Badaki leans any other way, but for me, I think that truly is a wash.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay, Tristan.
Appreciate you.
Sorry,
man.
what were you saying?
I think it's definitely Godwin makes this interesting. 23
Yeah.
first. second in Gallup. You know what? I would take the risk. It's not even risk. Ah man, I'm gonna go with the pick side.
Okay.
With the
Yeah,
whole
like I said, I feel like it's a wash for me, so I wouldn't be upset either way.
Yeah. And I think the trade under the influence, by the way, by props. And the only reason why I'm saying this now is because I was a real Godwin believer, still am. But if Tom Brady does not return, which I've already said, if he doesn't return, all these guys' value are going to drop tremendously. And I think I would rather take a chance on, if you can, whoever you land in the 23 first, whether that's a running back, a wide receiver, or quarterback.
Yeah, and I think we talked about that on yesterday's stream, that we did have to both move Godwin down our rankings. Again, it's not that we don't like him as a talent. We don't believe him. Not that we don't believe in him or think he's young enough for pretty much all strategies. I'll take Gibson here at the 6'9". But it's more, we just don't know exactly what that team will look like post Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
JC, that will be, we actually will record that tomorrow, which means it will come out later this weekend.
Yeah. Nicholas ranked top to bottom: Jerry, Hollywood, MT, Coop, Allen Robinson. In Dynasty, Jerry, Hollywood, Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Michael Thomas.
Did you just say Cooper Kupp?
Amari Cooper. You know what I mean?
Okay, right. I just wanted to make sure that Cooper Kupp wasn't involved before I answered.
So yeah, Jerry Jeudy, Hollywood Brown, Allen Robinson, Amari Cooper, Michael Thomas. I think I said that. Yeah, Amari Cooper, Michael Thomas.
Yeah, and I believe I'm the same.
Yeah. Ice Trey, thoughts on Dobbins? We really like Dobbins. We're both believer in Dobbins. We believe he'll be back. I know he's starting the year off the pub, but I think
pup.
Starting the year on the pup.
He's not going to get drunk at the pub. He's just working.
Hey.
Put the dog down. Put the dog down.
We went out with Ellen's friends, like Holly and Lise, like one of her bridesmaids, and her partner. She was wearing a shirt.
Shoot, I'm on the clock.
Ah, damn.
Thanks for nothing, bro.
She was wearing a shirt that said "Pow."
Pow!
And I was yelling "Pow" though. I go "Pow, pow," randomly. We really like Dobbins. He is starting on the pup, but we believe he should be fine towards the beginning of the season.
Man,
as we get close to the season.
He is so talented. JK is so talented. Man, I know he has to recover from this injury, but there is no one in that backfield that is even close to his talent. He's still young. They spent high draft capital on him. I think he's going to be just fine in a great rushing offense. I know ATJ is trolling. I'm not going to get into that combo. MP says, chicken schnitzel sandwich, boys. Badaki was close.
Hey, see? Told you.
Chicken schnitty is what they call it here.
Chicken schnitty. Kyler, Hollywood stack, or Russ Judy? Which you like better? Ooh.
Kyler.
Yeah, I would say Kyler as well. Kyler and Hollywood, just because they already have the chemistry, they have the history. D-Hop's going to miss some time. And I don't think there's going to be any competition once D-Hop walks. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland, I think, are all going to be there for a very long time, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hey, just before I answer the next question, huge love to all 50 plus of you guys watching the stream. We did a redraft mock earlier. The chat's been popping off. All these mocks have been going great. If you could do us a huge favor and drop a like on this stream. The only reason we ask that is because it legitimately does help us grow as a channel. So it's the most simple way for you to support this channel and help us grow. We're going to keep answering your questions and keep doing mock drafts, of course. You're on the clock here. So while you're on the clock, go Allen Robinson. Appreciate you, Shu. Glad that you could join us, my man.
Absolutely.
Chad had a
How you doing,
question.
Chad?
What's up, Chad?
You guys have confidence in Gibby, Dobson, Walker, Singletary, Kyron Williams, and Chestnut.
I think that's Julius.
As my running back room in a 12-team SuperFlex PPR Dynasty.
Yeah, I'd actually feel like obviously it's not elite, but I feel pretty good about this running back room, and specifically Gibson, Dobbins, Walker. Those are three that I feel like really comfortable with having that trio to build around.
Yeah, I actually don't mind having Gibson in a running back room like this. I love Dobbins. I love Walker. Let me just make my pick. I love Dobbins. I love Walker. I guess I don't know if you've been here for a while. On Chad, you've been in the chat before. I don't know if you heard my thought process on Gibson. That would be somebody I'm willing to move or like do a lateral move on. Is that worth
like
it? I'm not sure.
It's just not a good time to move him.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I think it's a great room. So, be confident in it.
ATJ says, look at this offer. Let's look at this. He says, Najee, Dalvin, Gabe Davis, Madison for JT, Penny, and Walker. In Dynasty,
Davis, Madison for JT, Penny, and Walker.
In Dynasty, I'm just not a Davis guy. Davis doesn't move needles for me.
The thing is, like,
I'm going the JT side.
Am I trading like you're just getting the handcuff with Penny and Walker, and you're getting the
Walker. I mean that is truly a really great running back to build around. But I agree. Like Penny's kind of a throw in. Madison is kind of a throw in. Dynasty wise. Yeah. Gabe Davis doesn't move needles for me in a deal like this, and I've seen JT get moved for way more than exactly. That.
And I think that's why, if I'm the person that is getting JT, I'm happy to take that, because then I can get so much more. But I think you can still kind of a very interesting trade. Props says I'd be shocked if Godwin starts week 1.
We would be shocked as well. Looks like his recovery is going really well, but I would say midway through the year is more realistic.
Yeah, I wonder would it be worth it? I guess like it would suck for like Russell Gage owners, especially in redraft. Chris Godwin should be back week 2, week 3. Like, do we even bother?
I would say halfway through the year, but
okay.
Thank you.
Tebow 15 legend. Got Tebow fan and a Tebow 15 legend.
We got a lot of Tebow fans in here.
Yeah, a lot of Tebow fans. Hypothetically, Chris Godwin comes up, training camp's doing well. He's on pace to start. He's on pace to start week 2.
Okay.
Week 3. Is Russell Gage even at value at all?
Yes, he has still immense value, and this is why I love Russell Gage. Mm-hmm. If you look at the Bucs last year, specifically Tom Brady, he was able to, and these guys all had injury problems, right? So they were able to shine at different moments. But if you look at the Bucs wide receivers last year, Tom Brady, on a points per game basis, was able to make 3 top 12 wide receivers. We're talking, again, Tom Brady, most pass attempts in the NFL last year, most pass yards, most pass touchdowns. All 3 of Evans, Gage, and Godwin can succeed in this offense, and I think that they all will, keeping in mind that Gage is kind of this Godwin/AB role within the offense. He's going to play that kind of role. Now that AB is gone, so is Gronk. You don't replace Gronk with Kyle Rudolph. You don't get the same production. You don't get the same opportunities. You don't trust Kyle Rudolph in the end zone like you trusted Gronk. You don't throw it up to him like you threw it up to Gronk. Gage is going to be important. Brady sought after him for this team. So in redraft leagues, I really have no problem drafting Gage because his ADP isn't too high right now. And if Godwin, think about this, by the way, why would this team bring back Godwin sooner rather than later? What are they? Why would they do that? They need to think about the playoffs, the Super Bowl. They don't need to think about winning a couple games. They can win games without Godwin. So personally, I think Gage is a great value this year.
Yeah, no, that's good. I guess I think that can be a real possibility, of like people are shaking in their boots because Chris Godwin is ahead of schedule.
Right.
Let me just make a pick.
Chris I still Godwin's think he becomes value, and then hopefully Gage's ADP still drops. But
yeah.
Prob's got a question here. Ken Walker, Pickett, 24 first for Zach Wilson and Cam Akers. I'm easily the. That's actually hard.
I'm not seeing this question. Okay,
I'm the Ken Walker side. I believe in Zach Wilson. I just don't want to invest in Cam Akers.
I'm on the clock here.
So I think I would take the Ken Walker, Pickett, and the 24 first side. I think there's a huge gap between Pickett and Zach Wilson's talent. They're like the overall raw materials you're getting as far as like becoming a really good quarterback, but I just don't want to invest into Cam Akers.
Walker, Pickett, first for Zach Wilson, Cam Akers, Ken Walker, Pickett, 24 first. Oh yeah, wow. I think what really puts it over the top is that I'm getting 3 for 2. That's the problem. I believe in Zach Wilson and Cam, so but that 24 first is like even more intriguing. I think this is a very even trade in my personal opinion. I know Zach's not a Cam believer, but I split this down.
Yeah,
the middle.
no, I think it's even as well.
I will be happy either way here.
Cam doesn't move needles for me, you know, like he's not someone I'm like,
sure.
okay, I'm getting Cam. I feel comfortable losing everything else. He's just not that player for me. I'll take Chase Claypool here at the 10-9. That's my wide receiver 4. I'll go with that.
Just answer Tristan's question. I don't know if you saw that. So I got some death and wide receiver in half PPR dynasty. AJ Brown, JJ, Hollywood Brown, Lance, Jacoby Myers, and Dotson. Who should I move for some RBs? I only have Mitchell, Antonio Gibson, and Singletary. Right. I mean, if you have, try to move Landry, try to move Jacoby. Maybe put them in a package. Maybe you can get some. Maybe you can see if you can get like a Stevenson. You know, you want some RB depth? Get a Stevenson. I don't know if you can get a Pollard or James Cook.
I don't think people are going to be giving up too much for those, but you're right. It's worth a try.
Worth a try. Kareem Hunt, Michael Carter, you know, Damian Pierce. It's really hard. Package those guys.
But also, I'm not moving those wide receivers for running backs. Like, I'm not moving AJ Brown and JJ and Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are and Dotson. Those are the pillars of your dynasty team moving forward. Mm-hmm. Elijah Mitchell, Gibson, and Singletary is not the worst running back room to start off with. Now, is that a championship winning running back room? Probably not, but I would much rather bet on wide receivers long term. So I don't want to move one of those guys. Unlike if I move AJ Brown, I truly want an elite running back, but there's no way in hell I'm moving Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. That's why I think that's why I said Landry and Jacoby. Other than that, I wouldn't move. Don't move anything. Maybe you have Landry, Jacoby. You have a third. Throw a third in there. Maybe you, like I said, Cook, a Pollard, a Hunt, one of these Michael Carter, those lower tier guys, Ramondre Stevenson. I don't know if that really moves the needle for you, but that's maybe something you can do. Everyone's talking about the Walker side. Another side. Should I include Damian or Alec Pierce too? AJ said. I'm on the Najee side. What was the trade again? Or should I counter including both Pierce instead of Penny? I'm trying to move in the younger direction.
Yeah, I mean, so just with the Damian and Alec Pierce, I'm not a big Damian Pierce guy long term. You know, draft capital is not great. Didn't love him as a prospect. I don't think he's going to stop them from drafting another running back earlier. Alec Pierce really intrigues me, but again, these aren't guys that are needle movers. They're not guys that when I like, let's just add this guy in, he'll move the needle for me, and I'm comfortable with it. So
yeah,
Ice Trey had a question.
Can you see James Cook or Spiller being top 15 in 2023? Not top 15. If there's somebody that can be a top 25 guy, it's going to be James Cook. That's still pushing it, but I'm a believer in James Cook. We just made a video on him. Yeah. Isaiah Spiller, I'm definitely interested in him, but I don't think there's a way he'll be a top 15 running back at all.
You know, the other thing you have to consider with Spiller is like Eckler's like he is in his prime. Spiller's young, but like when do you get the return on Spiller? When does he become the guy? If he even does. You know, they didn't have to draft him high at all. Draft capital's not there. When does Eckler actually slow down? Yeah. And do they draft another running back at that point? And then your hopes of Spiller being this, you know, incredible asset gets dashed. I see the pathway for Spiller, but I don't think it's as clear as other people.
I definitely do believe Spiller could bring value. I think it was like 134 attempts left behind from Justin Jackson, Joshua Kelly, and Kalen Ballage, all those guys. Is that going to bring any fantasy value? I don't know. I think it could. 130 plus targets or opportunities on the ground is massive,
Yeah.
in my opinion, for a backup. So it's definitely interesting. Jason Shakira or Nico Collins Dynasty. I'm going Nico. I still believe in Nico, but I think it's really close for me. I love Shakira and Nico. I think Shakira, give him another year or two, he can definitely be seen. But
Yeah, give me Shakir. Give me Shakir.
Nico
I'm not a
is
Nico
coming
guy.
next year. Nico's coming in this year. I could be, especially with John Mechie unfortunately out.
Yeah.
Redraft question, no worries. MP, as always, in a double flex PPR league, do you place more importance on wide receiver or running back?
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, you always want the guys who are getting the receptions. If it's, he said PPR, did he?
Yeah, PPR league.
Yeah, wide receiver. I'd always prefer to start. I mean, if you had 5 flex spots and it didn't matter if you had to start running backs or wide receivers, I wouldn't draft a single running back. You know, in a PPR format. If you said it's a quarterback, it's a tight end, and 5 flex spots, okay, right. Give me all wide receivers. I don't want a single running back. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say wide receivers.
Chad, good to hear you. Gibby believer. Yeah, that's good. If you're a Gibby believer, then keep Gibby. You're chilling. I Trey said Nico easily. Anthony, what would you guys need to add? What would you guys need added to Kamara to acquire Akers or vice versa? I'm a hybrid team since I'm waiting on Watson's suspension and want to move off Kamara to get younger.
Oh, you don't want to do like a second, because the second could be really valuable next year.
Yeah, exactly.
And Akers has his own question. So what? There's a third. Does that get the job done? Kamara and a third.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Akers owner probably moves him for that, but it's worth trying. And then maybe there's like an actual player that you can put in the deal instead of those picks, instead of that third.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, Akers is hard because I personally don't want to invest into him, but I know others do.
Yeah, Jason, if I were you, if you had the opportunity, I would definitely keep Nico and Shakira. But if you have to, I definitely understand.
Yeah, most dynasty formats, you should be able to put Shakira on your taxi.
Yeah, if you have a taxi.
Or your bench hopefully is big enough. Both of those guys should be rostered in dynasty. In most regular dynasty. Joseph had a question there. I'm going to make my pick.
No worries. Any late tight ends to get in a tight end premium dynasty startup? Oh, there's plenty. I mean, you can see all these guys here. Noah Fant, Zach Ertz, Cole Kmet, Dallas Goedert, Albert Ayoke, Irv Smith, Jelani Woods, I really like. Evan Ingram is interesting.
I would say Jordan. Right now, probably the best values, like based off of ADP, I'd say Njoku. Dynasty wise, I think he's we know at this point, at some point, Watson will play football. That seems obvious. Njoku, Irv Smith, even Evan Ingram. I know, but I think Evan Ingram's a great value. McBride probably goes way higher in your formats. Fant is being super disrespected. Those guys that come to mind, as well as what you said.
Like that. He just said I got Kmet and Irv is what so far. And that's awesome. I love Kmet. I'm a big believer in Cole Kmet. So that's great. Tebow legend, Gibson, Renfro 23 third or 24 first. Sorry. Gibson, Renfro 23 third or 23 first.
24 second Alec Pierce. It's easily the side of the picks and Pierce.
Yeah.
And I
was confused. I was for some reason I was just reading it like, so you're either gonna give a 23 third or a 23 first. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways,
no, it's like those are the two sides.
Yeah, fair.
I would say pretty easily we would both say the picks and Alec Pierce.
I'm on the
Prob. I tend to agree. I do think Gage is going to be valuable. Is the Ayuk camp news smoke? Think he will step up this year? Well, here's what we know for sure, Ice Trey, about camp news. Last year, every single piece of camp news was that Ayuk was killing it and that he was primed for a breakout. So,
yeah, he was.
This is why you'd really take it with a grain of salt. You really don't focus too much on reports out of camp, because they can say anything that they want to say and no one holds them accountable. They're beat writers. They're trying their best.
I mean, we saw all the nonsense already from today. There was just so much stuff. You know, Christian Kirk, what a great catch on the sideline. Evan Ingram now is looking great. Like, there's just everyone talking. Last time this year, Jamar Chase didn't catch a pass in practice.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
ATJ says, or should I include both Pierces instead of Penny? I'm trying to move in a younger direction. I guess what I don't understand about that, if you're trying to move in a younger direction, I'll bring back up the trade here. Najee, Dalvin, Gabe Davis, Madison. The other side is actually the younger direction. JT is younger than Najee. Dalvin is an older running back. Walker, just entered the league. So, again, I still think the JT Penny Walker side makes more sense for a younger team.
Yeah, agreed. Trey, would you trade Elijah Moore and Dobbins for Higgins, have PPR, have Etienne, Hall, Pollard, and Dylan left at running back? I personally would want to keep Elijah Moore, Dobbins. I love Higgins. Yeah, I love Higgins, but I mean, with this team that you have, why not try and move? Like, I'm happy to move Elijah Moore for Higgins if it wasn't with Dobbins. Would you do Elijah Moore and Pollard for Higgins? And would somebody take that? Would he take that? That's how I'm seeing it. I wouldn't want to move Moore and Dobbins together just for T. I know you have a good running back room, but I would rather keep Dobbins. I don't know what Mac thinks, but.
Sorry. So just ATJ saying I have Najee. Well, we think the JT side is already the more value, so we would take the JT side. He says, so which would y'all prefer then, JT Ken and Penny, or JT Ken? Oh,
JT Ken,
Damian,
Penny, or JT Ken, Damian, and Alec.
Oh, definitely JT Ken, Damian and Alec for sure. That would be the side we would prefer. Anthony says in a 12-team Superflex full PPR, 0.25 points per
reception per catch.
Points per. Not first down. Not. Is that catch? I mean, that.
I guess let us know what that means, right? Would you move off
2.522 PPC? What is PPC? Points per conversion? Is that like points per first down? Points per carry. My bad. Duh, that makes sense. You know what's so funny about that is, like, are we going to get to the place eventually where, hey, points per reception, it evens it out. Oh, points per carry. Now we're back at just, it's standard. You know what I mean? If you're adding points per carry, it is now a standard league.
This is the last round, guys, by the way.
Yeah.
Round 15. So just to be clear with that. And then we can finish answering the rest of the questions.
What would you need to move off Kamara? Is that the question?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. I think it was maybe he wrote it again.
We would like to get a first round pick. If you can get a first round pick for Kamara, you do it in a heartbeat. And I think you're probably not going to get that now, but wait. Right now is the worst time to trade Kamara. Okay, wait. Let's see if the suspension is next year, because if the suspension is next year, like it's been reported it's possible, then his value will go up instantly in the trade market. So right now you don't trade him, but a first round pick will be a great, a great piece to move. I think about all the wide receivers that went in this, like Elijah Moore. Could you do that? Maybe not. What about Sutton? He's a little bit older. Jahan, you could probably get more than just Jahan. Rashad Bateman, maybe. Like, those are some players I could try. But if you're gonna go like running back lateral, you could try with like it's tough. Can you get a Chubb? Probably not. But I mean, he went late in our other draft. I'd be okay to go to Gibson from Kamara personally. Could you go to Jacobs? Jacobs probably feels pretty realistic to me if you're trying to get younger.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just really depends on what you want. He said he wants Kamara and Spiller. Kamara and Spiller for Cam. I'm personally okay with that. I know maybe Zach is not. You can end the job.
I'll let the 16th round just pan out as we're answering questions. I'm not going to make any more picks. But how you feeling about Van and Tim? Yeah, I mean they're both good players. They should be rostered. Let's see what happens. They're an injury away from being
They're definitely
really
interesting
relevant.
in best ball for sure.
Yeah.
12 teams PPR. Tyler, 12 team PPR Superflex. Should I keep Gibson in the 10th or Pittman in the 11th as a keeper?
Pity.
Yeah, exactly. Another sleeper tight end is Joe Everett. Could be interesting. Daniel, yeah. Chad,
Yeah.
what would you pay for Zach Wilson?
Just quickly on Gerald.
Sure.
It's hard because he's in a better offense, but he's kind of in a similar situation. Really good quarterback. Two good wide receivers ahead of him. I just don't know if he's ever going to reach a point of his career where he becomes consistent. But I agree. He's a good sleeper. I agree. Like, he should be rostered for sure. Yep. What would you pay for Zach Wilson in Dynasty? He's one of those players probably going to cost you a 23 first-round pick at the 4-2. And to be honest, he's going higher in our formats in other leagues. So I think a 23 first is probably where you should be offering, or a player worth that. G Money says, why is everyone so down on Amari Cooper? Any chance he has a good year with the high volume? You know, I personally think Amari Cooper is a value at this point in drafts. Like I said, there's always a threshold to a player becoming a value. G Money took him at the 8-6, but in our startup draft, the last startup draft that we did, I got Amari Cooper at the 12-7 in a real draft. That is 4 rounds after he went in this mock draft. So he's really volatile right now with where he's going. But I know that at minimum, worst case scenario, he will be the wide receiver 1 probably next year for Watson, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be a full year. So I personally think he is being super undervalued, and he's going to be the guy with Brissett. So he's going to at least present some sort of flex appeal at times until Watson's back. So I tend to agree that he's being undervalued.
It's tough. Like for me, like I can definitely see him being a value towards the end of the year because there's going to be more. I don't know. Like, I guess if we look at this draft specifically, the 8-6, let's look at who went after him. Brandon Ayuk, Gabriel Davis, Brandon Cooks, Kadarius Toney. For me, right now, these are all guys I would take over Amari Cooper with the situation. Deshaun Watson on the team playing the whole season in not even this year, in 2023, 100% we're all taking Amari Cooper over all those guys. Yeah. I just think that it will be too late for Amari Cooper to bring values for anyone. If Jacoby is starting for the first 8 games and then Deshaun comes back, people are like, okay, Amari Cooper can come back and maybe he can be the guy that gives you that wins you your fantasy playoffs because Deshaun Watson's back and he has 3 weeks. But then after that, just before you say, but then after that, like I don't think they will move forward with him. I think that's the only thing. I don't think he's the answer for the future. And
maybe not.
I won't be surprised if they just say, you know what, Amari Cooper, we release you. We're gonna pick up another guy. We're gonna go younger. We're gonna do something else. I think that's a real possibility in my mind. But I get the value in the late rounds for sure.
Let's look at the vet wide receivers that are going high in drafts. Okay, Cooper Kupp, 29 years old, obviously a better player, but he's also connected to an elite quarterback. Okay, Stephon Diggs, obviously a better player, connected to an elite quarterback. Devontae Adams, would you say that Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Watson? I don't think so. Who else is a vet?
Just not
Tyreek Hill,
8 games.
28, 8 games. This is Dynasty. It's not a big deal. Like we don't even know if it's going to be 4 games, 6 games. Let me just keep going here. Tyreek Hill, 28 years old, definitely not connected to an elite quarterback. Someone that we like, but not an elite quarterback. Mike Evans, 28 years old, only has Tom Brady for 1 more year. He's going in the 5th round. You kind of see where I'm going here. Keenan Allen is 30 years old. 30 years old. How much longer does Keenan have? But we're drafting him at the 6-7. I think he's going to last, but we're talking about Amari Cooper, still a top 12 route runner in the NFL, in my opinion. He wasn't given a lot of target opportunity last year. He wasn't given wide receiver 1 targets. 28 years old. Deshaun Watson is an elite quarterback. You're connected to him. Watson made a top 12 wide receiver out of Will Fuller. I just think he is one of the best win now draft targets, personally.
Yeah, and look, once again, it's definitely, I think it's definitely there. I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think I don't see the win now targets for sure. I just don't see how they won't say, you know what, Mari, thank you so much for coming through. I mean, they gave up a 4th round pick for the guy, 7th or 4th. What was it, 4th, 6th?
Okay,
Like that?
yeah, that's true, but they're also still paying him a shit ton of money, and
Yeah.
you don't do that for someone. Like it's still costing them a lot of money to keep him on their team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't
I
just find a
understand
better you don't just find a better wide receiver than Amari Cooper with a team that is set to win right now. This isn't an ascending team. This team has Super Bowl aspirations right now. You're telling me next offseason they're just going to find a better wide receiver than Amari Cooper just like that without any draft capital? They have no draft capital. They don't have any picks to get a better wide receiver
for
in
sure.
the draft.
And I think it depends on who's available next year, like in a free agency.
Sure, but they don't have
aspect.
picks to make moves. They don't have money. They signed Deshaun Watson to the most guaranteed money. It's not that easy just to move on from Amari Cooper.
No, yeah,
he's a really good talent, but
Yeah.
it's not as simple as just let's move on from him.
No,
With
but-
who? With what picks? With what money?
People do it. People have done it, and I won't be surprised if it does happen.
It's a possibility. I agree.
I hear the late value for sure. You know,
Yeah.
I think especially in a dynasty league, in a win now perspective, awesome. Like, let's do it. I think if I'm trying to build somewhere else or even do hybrid, I think I'm always going with these younger players. Ayuk, the Watson, Davis, Dotson, Cooks is obviously in question. Kadarius Toney, you know, like these guys. Do we get training?
Just on that as well.
No, actually, I'm not.
You know, just on that as well. Cooper doesn't go this high in real drafts right now. You guys can get Cooper in the 9th,
sure.
10th, 11th. I got him in the 12th round.
Bro, with Deshaun Watson, we were drafting him, what was it, the 4th round?
No, but he was going right around like the 5th,
pretty
6th
high.
round. He was going around Keenan Allen, is what I remember. It was like, okay, Keenan, Amari. Amari's a little bit
Keenan
younger,
Allen here?
both connected to really good quarterbacks. So
Where's Keenan Allen? I can't even see him.
around the 6, 7. That's kind of where I felt it was.
Right.
The Keenan to Sutton range is where he was. But, you know, I'm really happy that I didn't move off of Watson in that Bravo league because I was really desperate at one point.
Yeah, I'm happy with what I got. Like, people,
I think you should have gotten more.
I think, and that's okay.
To be honest.
At that time, you know, 1 year not going to play. I mean,
But it's okay to look back and just say, okay, yeah, you know,
the thing is, like,
the situation definitely made me sell at what he's not worth, or less than what he's worth.
And that was the thing. I sold him during the situation because I thought, with everything that's happening, there was no way he was getting out of this. You know, like, there was no way it was going to go down to 8 games. I thought it was going to be a minimum of a year. I mean, quote unquote, 64 women. Hey, here's an 8-game suspension. You're kidding me. That's wild to me.
You know what?
But you always say it's the NFL. They were trying to make money.
They want to make money, and honestly, when it comes out, let's say it's 8 games, it won't matter after that. None of that it absolutely matters what happened, but in Dynasty, people won't care. His value will be higher.
Agreed. And people are going to try to flip him, and maybe I did to get the loss now, but man, I have a 24 first, or I think a 24, 23 first.
It was 23.
So I'm okay.
I was able to sell. I did sell him for Justin Fields in a 23 first, so I was happy with that. But that was earlier. That was pre-curve.
That was
what did you trade him for, Sean? Yeah.
That was
John says, should ATJ trade me Mac and JMO for a 25 first? Honestly, ATJ, huge win for you.
Huge
win for you. We're not going to do draft grades. I'm sorry, guys. It's so long when on days where we record content. We've been speaking already for like 5 hours straight. We've done 2 mock drafts. But can I just say, today was incredible. Guys, thank you so much for the support and so many questions in the chat. I hope we were able to help out a lot of people. We are 1 subscriber away from 2,300.
You won't. You won't.
Whoever's watching,
No
you
pressure.
haven't subscribed yet. It could literally update live right now.
I'm ready with the horns and the claps. I'm ready with the horns and the claps. Here we go.
G Money, thanks. I appreciate you, man. Any last minute question, guys? We won't do draft games, but we will leave here about 5 minutes to answer any questions. Hey.
What an opportunity, huh? I saw it change too. It was nice and it was like,
Bang!
no.
Bang! From downtown. Oh, dang. Oh, keep it going. No. Guys, seriously, thank you for the subs, for the likes. If you haven't dropped a like on the stream, it would mean a lot to us if you could do so. Thank you, G Money, for your kind words. Chad says, before anything happened with the suits, I sold him for Russ straight up. That's pretty great offer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Appreciate you, Chad. Sean says, I got Gage, Tua, and 223 first. Wow. Hey. Okay, Jonathan.
Appreciate you, Jonathan. That's awesome.
Jonathan said, hey, that might have been me. Probably was. No, that's incredible. Gage, Tua, and 223 first for Deshaun. Yeah, you got one hell of a deal.
I think you sold them like mid-season last year or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but yeah. Hey, it's okay. We'll see what happens with Deshaun. Plenty of more dynasty leagues I can trade him in, or get him in. It's all
yeah. I hope people were able to get trades for him. Remember about a month ago, I brought him up in a video. Just to tell people, hey, now's a really good time. Obviously, ethically, we understand, but now his value was an all-time low. If you looked at like community, and obviously, look, keep trade cut guys does not represent everyone's thoughts, but it is the biggest community-based rankings. Let me change my screen here. And at one point, Deshaun Watson was being ranked. I'm not kidding you. He was around Tom Brady, quarterback 23 or so. This was not too long ago. And now he's back up to quarterback 12. Let's actually look and see if we can look at that arc. Positional ranking, yeah. Hey.
He wants to jump in instead.
Steven, thank you so much, bro.
Oh, that's awesome. I just saw it popped up on my screen.
Thank you so much for
That's
the
man.
donation. Appreciate you.
you.
Steven, you always are great to have in the chat. Always love having combos. But yeah, I mean, here, this little dip here is where I was trying to encourage everyone to buy. Because again, there's always a threshold. And the dip was always going to come back.
The dip is always, it's like stocks. You know, I mean, what's it called? What's the stock called?
You just buy low and sell high.
No, I forgot the freaking stocks thing. What's the crypto?
I don't know.
What's the cryptocurrency name? That
Bitcoin?
Yeah, no, but the specific name, Ether. Get you Ether.
Oh, Ethereum?
Get you Ether. Yeah. That's so funny.
Anyway,
huge love, Daniel.
Steve, thank you so much. Seriously, like that's so unnecessary. Appreciate you. That means a lot.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, we will, Daniel.
We'll be sending out messages here.
Later this week, expect a DM with an invite to the redraft leagues if you're in one. And Daniel, I'm pretty sure you are.
Yeah. Last question here. Excuse me. Sorry. How do you feel about Kittle right now in 1.5 tight end premium? That feels great. Yeah, especially in that tight end premium.
I mean, he went here at the 7.4. He is an elite tight end in the NFL. He just hasn't produced elite numbers last year. Only 28. That is nowhere near old for tight ends. We're looking at Travis Kelce, who is 32, and we still expect him to have a couple really good years left. So it's definitely not a bad time in Dynasty to draft George Kittle, tight end wise.
Jonathan, we don't see JT go this late. He usually goes like 1.8, really. 1.7, depending on how people feel, so yeah, it definitely fluctuates, but this is the latest we've seen him go at the 1.11.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think you should anticipate that happening very much. Yeah, I can see where you're coming, Chad. I can definitely understand what you're saying there. But guys, seriously, thank you so much for all the support today on both streams. You guys really showed up in the chat with the likes, with the views.
Awesome.
Incredible. I'm so glad that we were able to put on hopefully good streams, give some good advice, and just good atmosphere, a good hangout. Jeez, what is wrong with me? Anyway, huge love. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're doing the same thing. So we'll see you tomorrow night. A bunch of content coming out this week.
All love, y'all.
Huge love. See you soon.